Despite the fact that Europeans also feel the consequences of Russia's war against Ukraine in everyday life, according to a poll of the Eurobarometer, 73% of EU citizens are in favor of continuing to support Ukraine. 26,000 people in all EU member states were questioned as part of the survey, which was conducted in autumn.
We do see that the level of support has risen with the start of full-scale Russian aggression. This is a big plus, because we understand that all politicians appeal to their voters and make decisions that in one way or another are based on the vote or intentions or interests of voters in specific circles or on party lists. This indeed big benefit for Ukraine.
In the Nordic countries, as well as in the Netherlands, Ireland, Portugal, more than 9 of 10 respondents support the variety of actions taken by the EU to help Ukraine since the start of the war.
I think that the fewer economic ties with the Russian Federation that were historically, the more the country is ready to support European aspirations to Ukraine. But I think that with regard to assistance, in fact, with weapons and other specific actions, there will be more support from the Central European flank of the European Union, our partners and neighbors.
Ukraine and the EU are continuing preparations for the Ukraine-EU summit, which is expected to take place on 3rd February. The permanent representative of Sweden to the EU has confirmed that the summit will be held in Kyiv.
Stockholm intends to promote Kyiv's strong desire to get closer to EU membership. Ukraine and military aggression against Ukraine will dominate everything that Sweden will do during the presidency in the EU. The European Union has already done a lot to support Ukraine. However, more needs to be done, so that the process of support, humanitarian, financial, military, does not stop. Lars Danielsson, permanent representative of Sweden to the European Union, in a comment for Deutsche Welle.
President Volodymyr Zelensky had a conversation with President of the European Council Charles Michel. They discussed expectations from the upcoming EU-Ukraine summit and agreed on joint efforts to implement the peace formula.
This is the moment when we conduct a general audit of what has been done in a year or two. Why it is important? Because this will be the first summit since a full-scale war, and we understand that the level of EU support and the direction of support, they have changed somewhat. It's really the kind of clockwork that should show whether we are really doing everything we can to get to the point where we start negotiations with the EU.
The topic of the summit could be further support for Ukraine. The leaders will also be able to analyze Ukraine's progress towards EU membership. Preparations for the summit were discussed by Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba and EU High Representative Josep Borrell.
We have outlined our expectations and focused on a format that will ensure its success. We also discussed military aid, sanctions and Iran-Russia cooperation. Dmytro Kuleba, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, on Twitter.
According to Politico, the President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, at a meeting on January 11th, said that they want to send a delegation of European Commissioners to Ukraine in early February to meet with Ukrainian officials. Reported by Serhiy Kulas, Yulia Bil, UATV News.